Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 35 of my Bloodborne effective run. Today we'll be facing off against my favorite boss in any video game, and thus I will not be using the normal beast blood pellet strat and everything. I'm just going to fight Maria straight up. You can certainly utilize that, but I think you'll find this strategy a little bit more easier, especially if you followed the build on the playthrough. For the namesake of my character, I'm going to be parry fishing her, and dancing behind her and going for backstabs. It is perhaps the most fun way to fight a boss such as her in this game, along with Orphan of Kos. It's pretty fun that way too. Without further ado though, once you defeat the living failures, you'll proceed through here and be presented with the room, with the giant clock. This would be the apex, or the height, of the astral clock tower, despite that it's technically lower, but it's a dream, so who cares? When the hunter walks in, they see a corpse sitting at a chair, in repose and in rest. Let's interact with it.
Should be left well alone. Oh, I know very well how the secrets beckon so sweetly. Only an honest death will kill you now. Prevent you from your wild curiosity.
Lady Maria has a couple flaws, one of which being that she doesn't have enough health. Also, she is parryable, which in IMO makes the fight more fun. She can be parried in almost I think every single one of her attacks except the gun. And you can certainly get the trade-off there quite a bit. That large swing, as soon as she starts to move forward, you can parry the attack, and in fact I do a little bit later. And she does actually give you space at key points. You can also get behind her after you do a repost and go for a backstab like this. But it is hard to hit sometimes. When she goes into her transform state, it is an opportunity to wail on her. And she will give you space to actually heal, because her first move is to back up, just like that. After both phase introductions. This new phase gives her more range, but not much more damage to worry about. So if you've got the same HP range we do, she's not going to be hurting you that much unless you're in a later new game cycle. Now we're going to be in phase 3. She's going to transform. We can go ahead and wail on her. If you've been using Beast Blood, you can finish her off here. We don't quite get away with it. But once again, she backs off and gives us an opportunity to heal. And now the fight is over, we just got to get in close. That phase is important to note. It leaves a trail of fire after the blood flies through the air. And thus, Lady Maria is set down to rest. And ends my favorite fight, my favorite boss fight in all of video games. My second favorite boss, I would probably say, is Orphan of Kos from here. But there are a lot of good bosses. I like Logarius quite a bit. Other things like that. Upon grabbing that item... Oh, I guess I'm going to the Hunter's Dream. But I think this is actually where the DLC was initially intended to halt. And I believe the doll is going to give us some special dialogue. Oh, I guess I don't do that yet. But the DLC was initially going to halt there. And upon defeating Maria, you can buy her set. And they had intentions of splitting it up and then having the fishing hamlet with a few more bosses go in there. But they just ran out of development time for whatever reason, or Sony didn't think the DLC up to this point was substantial enough on its own to warrant continuing. It might have been a player base falling off or anything of that ilk, but I would argue that the currently active player base, because I did get invaded in this LP, 4 to 5 years after the game came out, it's still, if anything, quite active. But alas, we didn't get that second bit of DLC we were supposed to get. And if it wasn't clear before, yeah, this character is made off of my Maria copy model, although I think it looks more like Ariana.
Good hunter. This may sound strange, but have I somehow changed? Moments ago, from some place, perhaps deep within, I sensed a liberation from heavy shackles. Not that I would know. How passing strange.
That is the special dialogue you get from the doll after fighting Maria. The dialogue we're getting here is actually the dialogue you get if you talk to her after fighting Rom. Because Rom drops a special blood echo that has a flag for her to comment on it. Again, we're going to be investing purely into skill. Our health is pretty strong at this point. For the rest of the game, I probably could have used some more levels when it finally came to fighting Lawrence, who I'll have to, spoiler alert, admit, I still don't have him down very well compared to the other bosses. Even compared to Ludwig, who I would consider my second weakest boss. It was asked if I was going to be doing a Chalice Dungeons run. At this point, I'm still not sure. I kind of find the actual Chalice Dungeons themselves to be repetitive and not really good for a viewing experience, to be honest. Maybe if I did a live commentary, or if someone would like to do it with me, I might do the run through the Chalice Dungeons. Outside of that, if I do anything that way, it would just be showing how to fight the bosses at that point, which I could do. That wouldn't be too much of a chore, just recording the boss fights and talking about how to do that, but that's been done. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.